are literally the same notes that I use for Jumu'ah, but in this way, in its forum, we're able to do it a little more seamlessly because we don't have to take into consideration the time and actually who came to dinner, if you understand my metaphor. So we dealt with the topic social Darwinism, Satan's lie for the modern age, and this is inside of the theme of understanding our growth and development as human beings, as a human creation, from the creator of the heavens and the earth. And we started when we began talking about this, our original humanity and what it was. And we went through that, the male, the female, the masculine, the feminine, then the male, then the female. And we went through that. And those of you who were with us for the Quran Salat Institute last week, we covered that. So you can go back through last Sunday's Quran Salat Institute piece, the last hour or so, and get again a detailing of this as well. But we're at the point where we need to understand, well, what about evolution? What about evolution? All right. So inside of our Jumu'ah topic, you hear say, just condemning the idea of the social Darwinism. But the main intention is to get clear on what evolution is and is not, and how that fits into the plan of God, and how that fits into our evolution as human beings, our growth and development as human beings from original humanity to sacred maturity. So the verse that we referenced last Jumu'ah is أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وكذلك جعلنا لكل نبي عدو شياطين الإنسان والجن يحيي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرور ولو شاء ربك ما فعله فذرهم وما يفترون. صدق الله العظيم. Allah the Master has spoken the truth. A translation of this 112th verse of the 6th chapter of the Quran is, and thus have we made for every prophet an enemy, devils from mankind and jinn, inspiring one another with decorative speech in delusion. But if your Lord had willed, they would not have done it. So leave them and what they invent. A report from Abu Huraira helps us to frame this subject as well. And this report is when Abu Huraira had been appointed to guard the Sadaqatul Fitr, which was basically the Eid Sadaqah that's given in food. Abu Huraira reports, he says, Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam deputed me to keep the Sadaqatul Fitr of Ramadan. A comer came and started taking handfuls of foodstuff of the Sadaqah stealthily. I took hold of him and said, by Allah, I will take you to Allah's Apostle. He said, I am needy and I have many dependents and I am in great need. I released him, and in the morning Allah's Apostle asked me, what did your prisoner do yesterday? I said, oh Allah's Apostle, the person complained of being needy and of having many dependents. So I pitied him and let him go. Allah's Apostle said, indeed, he told you a lie and he will come again. I believed that he would show up again, as Allah's Apostle had told me that he would return. So I waited for him watchfully. When he showed up and started stealing handfuls of foodstuff, I caught a hold of him again and I said, I will definitely take you to Allah's Apostle. He said, leave me, for I am very needy and I have many dependents. I promise I will not come back again. I pitied him and I let him go. In the morning, Allah's Apostle asked me, what did your prisoner do? I replied, oh Allah's Apostle, he complained of his great need and of too many dependents. So I took pity on him and set him free. Allah's Apostle said, verily, he told you a lie and he will return. I waited for him attentively for the third time, And when he came and started stealing handfuls of foodstuff, I caught a hold of him and said, I will surely take you to Allah's apostle, as this is the third time you had promised that you would not return. Yet you break your promise and come. He said, forgive me, and I will teach you some words which Allah will benefit you. I asked, what are they? He replied, whenever you go to bed, recite Ayatul Kursi. And we know Ayatul Kursi is 255, where it says, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum, all the way to the end. So the person told him, say this until you finish the whole verse. And if you do so, Allah will appoint for you a guardian who will stay with you, and no Satan will come near you until the morning. So I released him. In the morning, Allah's apostle asked, what did your prisoner do yesterday? I replied, he claimed that he would teach me some words by which Allah would benefit me. So I let him go. And Allah's apostle asked, what are they? I replied, he said, whenever you go to bed, recite Ayatul Kursi from the beginning to the end. And he further said to me, if you do so, Allah will appoint a guardian for you who will stay with you, and no Satan will come near you till the morning. And the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he really spoke the truth, although he is an absolute liar. Do you know who you were talking to these 3 nights, Abu Huraira? Abu Huraira said, no. He said, it was Satan. So the critical piece that we want you to hold on to from this Sadaqa Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam of this report is that Satan mixes truth with falsehood, or he uses the truth in support of falsehood. So you have to be able to distinguish the truth from the falsehood. Just like in the verse it read, it said they're inspiring each other with decorative speech in delusion. Another translator says they speak glittering half-truths designed to delude the mind. There's an Aesop's fable that we like to use to point out this issue of lies in support of devilish, objectives and interests. The Aesop's fable says, once upon a time a wolf was lapping at a spring on a hillside. When looking up, what should he see but a little lamb, just beginning to drink a little lower down? He says, there's my supper. If only I can find some excuse to seize it. Then he called out to the lamb, how dare you muddle the water from which I am drinking? Nay, master, nay, said the little lamb. If the water were muddy up there, I cannot be the cause of it, for it runs down from you to me. Well then, said the wolf, why do you call me bad names? Why did you call me bad names this time last year? Oh, that could not be, said the lamb. I'm only 6 months old. I don't care, snarled the wolf. If it wasn't you, it was your father. And with that he rushed upon the poor little lamb and ate her up. But before she died, she gasped out, any excuse will serve a tyrant. And, of course, that's the moral of the story. That is, a tyrant, an oppressor, a thief, a liar, they are going to figure a way to rationalize to themselves what they want to do anyway, whether it be right or wrong, but most often, of course, it's in service to something wrong. So we point out that for more than 200 years, a special brand of scientific racism has been evolving in modern society. I recommend to you a YouTube title. I didn't write it down here, but all you put in Social Darwinism and eugenics. Social Darwinism and eugenics, EUGENICS, and look for a BBC documentary. It's about 58 minutes long, and it covers the gist of what I'm saying here. It gives you details. It's very, very wonderful, very, very complete, and it points out to you some matters that I'm pretty sure most people are simply not aware of. You just don't know how many homicidal, genocidal things have been done with scientific, how can you say, motivations in mind, in service to imperialism and colonialism and the like. So look that up. And you'll find the confirmation of the statement that I'm making here, that for more than 200 years, a special brand of scientific racism has been evolving in modern society, trying to come to that rationale that makes it okay to do the things that these oppressive interests have been wanting to do for that same period of time, for 200 years. We cite Ludwig Fleck, that's spelled F-L-E-C-K. He's not quoted in the documentary, but he makes the point, and this is the point to understand that ideas all ideas don't just die. Of course, some ideas die, but I should say that those ideas are actually sometimes like grass seeds, right? So I know my backyard lawn is, this time it flourishes, it comes up nice and green, etc. for a period of time, and then also I think what you call the southern exposure. I think the sun that comes from that side actually kind of torches that green grass, so that it becomes yellow and it just goes away, and it's just barren. It literally becomes dirt, mashallah, at some point in time over the years, that is over the season of the year. And then so it looks like there's nothing there, but there is something there. So when the season changes, when the rain comes, etc., then you have those things, that grass grows up again. And that's also the way that ideas are. An idea may look like it's dead, seem like it's dead, but sometimes that seed makes a comeback. And of course, the stronger, more robust seeds that are the, how can you say, the foundation of stronger life, like bushes and trees of whatever sort. Well, they don't go away in the same way. They grow up, they get stronger, they absorb minerals and sunlight and water and the like, and the benefits of the wind and fructification. So they become strong, and they continue to exist, continue to grow, continue to bear fruit, unlike grass. So the point is that some ideas come and go, but some ideas have a much more perpetual kind of existence. And so a very important thing is understanding this about the nature of ideas. Imam Muhammad in his lecture, that we listened to on, I think it was the Wednesday broadcast. I'll do better about getting these details next time, but sometimes these points come up uninvited. In any case, the point is that ideas shape and form us. Ideas shape and form us. Ideas, just like, let's just take like a virus, right? You take ideas like a virus. Once that virus gets into you, it affects the whole body in some kind of way. It affects systems in various ways. Well, that's how it is with ideas. And according to the nature of the idea, that is what decides the effect. And again, with an idea like scientific racism, for example, just as an example, then those people who are on the quote-unquote positive side of the idea, meaning the idea benefits them, whether it be unjust or not, the point is that the idea tis to benefit them, then that's one thing. But then there's also those who are on the losing end of the new idea, and so the idea harms them, right? So understanding that ideas are critical, the nature of ideas, with the Ebola and all the rest of that, people were concerned, whether it was an airborne disease or airborne virus or something like that, so people got these masks on and the like. So we know that these also are features that you have to think about in terms of ideas, because once you get